what it is, or what's up, or what it is, or what's up. Yo, what is good with y'all, man? Welcome to one of the dopest shows on YouTube where we talk about everything under the sun, as long as we get back to the money, as long as we get back to real conversations. I'm your host, Courtnee Edgar, big dog. Listen, we got some fire topics tonight. So listen, tonight's live stream is gonna be a little shorter. It's gonna be a little shorter, but we still gonna get it done. You feel me? Still gonna get it done. So before I get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit that bell notification. You feel me? So, how y'all feeling today? How are y'all feeling today? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling wonderful. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling everything. I'm feeling it all. But enough of the rambling. I want to go ahead and get into these topics. Y'all ready? I said, are y'all ready? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. The first topic of tonight. I want to talk about this mass shooting that's happened in Minneapolis. I want to get into it, but before I do, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to play the video, then I'll get my thoughts and opinions. All right, so let's go ahead and rock out.
All right, you've just been watching an NBC News special report on today's deadly school shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota, inside a church filled with students attending their first mass of the school year.
This story right now is gripping the nation. We have learned that police are confirming at least 2 children, ages 8 and 10, were killed in this incident, and more than a dozen more injured, some still listed in critical condition. Authorities have shared with us that all of this happened while these children were praying.
Here's Laura Aguirre with the very latest.
There are no words that can capture the horror and the evil of this unspeakable act. Children are dead.
The mayor of Minneapolis in the wake of a shooter's rampage at a Catholic school this morning.
A gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the mass.
Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the killer carried 3 guns, a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol.
This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping.
First responders found the gunman shortly after converging on the school.
The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church.
Chief O'Hara described the shooter as someone in their early 20s who does not have an extensive known criminal history, adding that it's still too early in the investigation to know if the 3 guns were being carried legally or what the motive may have been. With over a dozen children and adults injured, some critically, there are fears the death toll may rise.
Every one of us needs to be wrapping our arms around these families, and the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary.
Pain that the mayor says needs more than words right now.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
The school has set up a reunification center to support the survivors and their families. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
So as you can see, things are still very fluid. That press conference is still going on right now, and our news team will continue to monitor it so we can bring you the latest information. But we're hearing from all of the authorities, including national representatives for the state of Minnesota, Minneapolis, specifically for Minnesota, who have come to this area to share that at that press conference, support for the families and how this is really affecting this area.
Those families there and the entire community of Minneapolis shaken, obviously, by this unspeakable act. A moment ago, we heard the principal for the first time speaking publicly, saying that we lost 2 angels today. So much more on this developing story throughout the next couple hours here on 13 News, and then, of course, on NBC Nightly.
So, first and foremost, let me say my hearts and my prayers go out to the families who have lost their children or their children have, been injured in the case. And even those who, who will carry this traumatic experience for the rest of their lives, right? Here's my biggest thing. we had a conversation yesterday. Shout out to my guy Jay Ben. We had a conversation last night on Banter and Barter about foundation. About foundation. In this case, in this specific situation, foundation ain't got nothing to do with that. Some people are just bona fide demons. Some people just are demon. They are just no good people. They are shitty fucking people in this world. Kids going to school, a private school. Mind you, I went to a private school in high school. I went to a private school. Never did I ever, at any given moment, think that anybody was going to come to the school and shoot up the school. Never. These children are going to school to learn not only their academia, but also to learn about Jesus Christ, to learn the word, to learn to get better, to learn the word, to live by his word, to all of these different things. They weren't expecting to go home and to go to school, and next thing you know, they can end up being shooting at. This is crazy, and I'm sorry to play the race game. I'm sorry, I'm not that person that always talks about race, but typically speaking, it's always a certain demographic of people. Just like when we talk about robbers and killers and all that shit in the hood, we already in our minds, we already know who it is, right? We can already profile them in our head, and it's the same thing with this situation. Now, we know before I saw the actual person. And it's sickening. And it tends to be these same type of people. So I'm gonna bring this video up. Let me bring it up to y'all real quick. Give me a second. Look at that. That's who the shooter is. That's who the shooter is. A white male who got pigtails and the earring, looking like a female, looking like the little girl on the Wendy's sign, looking like little Wendy out there. Pretty sure he's non-binary in the LGBTQ plus community. You know how we like to say it, and I know that this person does not speak for all of them. Let me set the precedent by saying that. But however, this kind of speaks to or alludes to the fact that there's something going on up here. There's a wire or a screw loose somewhere in your motherfucking head to want to go and off some little children who ain't got shit to do with you, who ain't did nothing to you. You just felt in your mind and in your heart that you just wanted to go and shoot up somebody's school. You a fucking demon, bro. And then you got the audacity. Then you got the fucking audacity to off yourself. Fucking coward, bro. You a fucking coward. And I hope you burn with gasoline draws on. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I can't even imagine what the parents are going through. I can't even imagine, because if it was my children, listen. One thing about me, I got a soft spot for children. And that's a fact. I have a soft spot for children. Little innocent children who have nothing. All they want to do is go outside and play, get dirty, and just get into shit. And now they won't even get a chance to live a full life. Well, some of those children won't. Some of those children won't get a chance to live a full life because of your stupid ass, your coward ass. Like, man, hold on. Let me see if there's another picture. Look at this shit. Look at this. That's demon. That's a demon, bro. No, there's no found. Again, this goes back to the conversation. This ain't got shit to do with nothing. But I gotta set the precedent. This ain't got shit to do with foundation. There's something fucked up with him. Completely fucked up with this person. Well, there was, because he ain't here no more, because he a coward. For the children, bro. Then look at the side and then gonna put the ha 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 at the bottom. ABC community, y'all better answer to this. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all better answer to this, because this type of shit is egregious. No kid should have to go to school. No kid should have to go to school and have to fear for their lives because some fucking idiot, some demon, some cowardice ass person decide they want to go and shoot up a school because they feel something, because they feel inadequate, or because they feel as if they don't deserve to be on this earth. Well, nigga, if you don't deserve to be on this earth, just off yourself. Why you got to bring everybody else into your bullshit? This shit don't make no sense to me, bro. This shit don't make no sense to me. And I'll never be okay with shit like this. Ever. Ever. There's nothing that you can tell me that warrants a situation like this. There is nothing you can tell me on any fucking level. I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand it. I don't. Y'all want to bring people into your own bullshit because you in your own fucking head, because you, I feel that something wrong with me. So because something is wrong with me, I want everybody to suffer like me. No, nigga, suffer by your motherfucking self. Go find some fucking help. But then again, I guess when you a demon, you ain't looking for help. You just want to be a fucking demon. That's what it is. You just gonna be a demon. That's what it is. You just want to be a fucking demon. I got it. Say less. Say less. Say fucking less. And it's all they always fit the fucking bill. Those type of individuals. Let me pull them up again. So y'all can understand what I'm talking about. It's always these niggas who fit the bill. It's always these type of individuals who fit the fucking bill. Always. I know this person don't speak for that entire community. I know that they don't, but it's certain every time that there's a mass shooting, they look similar. They look like this, bruh. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. But again, prayers go up to the families. Listen, they ain't gonna never be able to get over that situation. It's an unfortunate situation, bro. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that. Nobody's children, no man, no woman, no child, no family. I would not wish that on anybody, bro. So shit's stupid. Listen, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell notification, dog. So let's go ahead and get off of this topic before it gets crazy up in here. And I want to move on to the next topic. Now, this topic here is kind of, I'm not going to say it's old, but it's still kind of fresh because people are still talking about it. The Amanda Seales situation and her debate on Jubilee, right? I'm gonna play a little bit of the clips, but this is her rebuttal in regards to her going on to MSNBC and she talking her talk, whatever the case may be. So I want to get into that. All right. So before we do, I don't want to bring it up just yet. Give me a second. All right, here we go. So let's listen into this, then I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it. All right. So let's rock out.
There is a decent chance that you saw our guest Amanda Seales in a YouTube debate show called Jubilee, where she debated 20 Black conservatives on topics from racism to reparations. Here's just a part of it. Amanda Seales is back with us. I mean, you just said it right there that none of this is going to work if you're just...
Amanda Seales is a rage baiter, bro. 1,000%. She's a straight up rage baiter, bro. But she got to. That's how she make her dough. She got to. Extreme as fuck.
Gonna sit here and make up some stuff. So
I got PTSD watching it.
oh, I'm so sorry you had to relive that. The whole internet at least has been reliving it with you.
Yes.
What was your goal? Why go into that space knowing it could go off the rails?
Because ultimately we are in a desperate time of disinformation. Like, I call this the age of idiocy, right? And we know that when it comes to the internets, when it comes to media, there really has just been a commitment to not telling whole truths. We know that when it comes to academia, when it comes to nonprofits, like, it's just not a truthful time. And I know that I'm OD truthful, which is why sometimes.
You what? No. Again, there's this thing I like to say. There's his truth, there's her truth, there's his story, her story, and then there's the truth that lies in between. She don't always tell the truth. She may exaggerate it a little bit. Now, there are times where she can make a good point. Every dog has his day. But for the most part, even in that Jubilee debate, she had some good points, some. But the entirety of the Jubilee, all she was doing, she had a lot of antics going on. She started to make some ad hominem attacks. She started to attack the person personally, doing all this stupid shit, yelling, screaming, starting to overtalk people, trying to use her loud voice to project and overtalk people, become disrespectful, telling one kid, oh, well, look, you got to look at me as your mother. Don't talk to me like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Who are you? You ain't my mama. I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk my talk. And then, mind you, the kid wasn't even disrespectful.
People have an issue. But when you are of this type of mindset, when you are a revolutionary, when you know that you have the facts, you are responsible to explain it over and over and over again. That is a quote from the great Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso. And I know that about myself and many of my peers. We understand that we have to put ourselves in these spaces sometimes and take the bruise and annoyance, knowing that we aren't speaking to just these individuals. We're speaking to an entire audience watching who may never have heard what we have to say, and they need to.
Of everything you discussed, what was the most contentious disagreement? And then what was your most surprising point of agreement?
So I would say the most contentious point of agreement was that across all of the claims, because you have to make 4 claims, then you're debating things that are undebatable, but that's another combo for another time. They all seem to keep coming back to Black people are the problem with Black people. There was simply no concept of cause and effect, of the continued oppressive behaviors and legislation. We just had Tremaine here 2 seconds ago talking about the ways in which we are still continuing to see systemic racism experienced across the nation.
Oh, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. If I am wrong, please correct me. What systemic racism are we talking about? Listen, I ain't no idiot, but I ain't no 4.0 student either. So I'll ask a question if I don't know something, right? If I'm confused about something, I'll ask the question. Black people. This is honest to God. I'm not talking about some rhetoric that you heard from somebody else. I'm not talking about shit that you heard from Amanda Seals. I'm not talking about shit that you heard from Dr. Umar. I'm not talking about shit that you hear all these leftists and all these supreme Black people that you're talking about. I'm not talking about what happened 400 or 500 years ago. I'm talking about right now in the year 2025 of August 27th at 7:26 p.m. Arizona time. I want to know, where the fuck do you have systemic oppression? Where? I need somebody to answer that question for me. I need you to answer that question for me. Again, I'm genuinely asking a question here. Where is the systemic oppression? Where? I don't see it. And no, it's not you choose not to see it. No, I don't see it. Where is it? Where? What is it that you cannot do? Again, we're not talking about what happened 400 years ago. I get it. I know what happened back then. I understand what happened back there. I looked in the rearview mirror plenty of fucking times. I know what happened back there. Now I'm looking ahead. What the fuck? What systemic oppression are we seeing right now? Are you talking about because certain white people don't like black people? Is that what we talking about? Because at the end of the day, they still ain't got no control over what I do. They ain't got no control over the money that I make. They ain't got no control on where I can fucking go. I can still leave my house, get in my truck, and dip the fuck out and go wherever the fuck I want to go. I can still go buy a house. I can go buy another house if I want to. I can go buy another vehicle if I want to. I can go buy a house in any fucking neighborhood in the fucking world. Yes, I can. Now, of course, everything else, there are nuances that come with that, the type of money and all that shit. But you get the point that I'm making. What systemic racism? What are we talking about? What systemic oppression are we talking about? Somebody, please, school me. I genuinely want to know. Somebody school me.
And they just failed to regard that as anything of impact. And it didn't matter how many examples I gave. I would say the surprise point of agreement was actually more of a surprise for them than me, because the last person, you argue a claim that they have, and they had a claim that Black people should leave the Democratic Party. And I let him talk, and then I said, I agree. And he was like, but ultimately I am of a mind that one of our biggest misses that we did after the civil rights movement was that we didn't form a third party, a cross-coalition third party to handle what really was really for the people, because the parties have never really been for the people.
Was there any moment in that debate where you moved from where you were going into it in a direction one way or the other? Did anything?
I moved further away from them.
Either further away. That's the only thing.
It was like this.
That's
like,
it, the whole
oh my
time.
gosh. Yeah, because
and nobody made a point.
Okay, you know what? Actually, I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Nobody ever made a valid point.
Not a valid point. I was going to say nobody made a point that you could say, oh, I understand why you are making that point, even if you disagree with it.
It was more so that I could understand how they feel.
Right.
Because they weren't making points.
Yeah.
They were stating feelings about,
And see that again, I'm gonna let it play out, because I know some of y'all just play the video, but I gotta stop at certain key points. This is what commentary is, right? During that Jubilee debate, when the conservatives, they were speaking their points, there were many times where she had many antics. Oh, we're not gonna do this. We're not just gonna talk. Doing all of these antics instead of actually listening to these people or asking qualifying questions like, okay, so what made you think that? What makes you believe that this is what it is, or why is it that you believe this? Instead of you going back and forth. See, that's the problem. You were going back and forth. You were too busy trying to be right and trying to lecture people instead of actually having the fucking debate. Because what you actually did, you shut down Miss Amanda Seals. For those, and for the people that agree with Amanda Seals, oh, you don't pay attention. No, I listened to it. I listened to it several times. She broke down during that. See, a person who doesn't necessarily break down during the debate, they don't start throwing ad hominem attacks. They don't start attacking the person. They don't start trying to overtalk people. Typically speaking, a lot of times when you start to overtalk a person, you won't let a person get their shit off, and then you start to go on this entire monologue. You start to have a conversation about the conversation. That lets me know you lost, because you can't even just have the debate. You can't even just have the conversation. You can't hear the other person's side, still disagree, and then tell them why they're wrong, but also like, okay, I understand that, or ask qualified questions so that way you can get a better understanding of where they're coming from. You're talking about based off of feelings, but a lot of times you were the one that was going extra. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this any longer. You were doing all of that. I didn't see any conservative doing that. They were just trying to talk and have the conversation.
Feel this way because this happened to me. I feel this way because I read a book, and so
Nobody
feel this way.
Nobody said they feel.
But I went in there, and immediately when I got there, I realized, I actually don't want to argue with these people. I love these people. because this is a very unique version of the surrounded format. It's Black people talking to other Black people. So there's a intercommunal space that's happening that rarely gets to happen. It's happening in front of everybody. And I wanted in that moment to actually find a way to display discourse, but with civility. But unfortunately, our internet is so committed to toxicity that I had to, at certain points, they didn't even show it, but at certain points, I led them all in a primal scream together. I led them all in a deep breath together. And I really tried my best to get across to them that this is about us figuring out how to align and find a way for us. That's why I'm here.
So do you think it was productive, or did it descend into name calling?
Of course it descended into name calling, because I'm human.
Back the goddamn shit! I'm tired of this motherfucking shit!
Amanda, so you came in, you realized it was Black people, right? You said you realized it was your own people, so you just wanted to have a discourse with them, right? Because you loved them and you led a peaceful, I guess, little meditation thing afterwards, right? But yet you just admitted to name calling. But these are your people that you love, but it went to name calling. You just wanted to have a discourse though, right? Or was it the fact that you was losing, so you had to start making the personal attacks at people? Oh, I get it.
And I'm spicy. But
do you think more people should do this? I mean, some Democrats, and I know you're not like by no means like rooting for the Democratic Party, but some Democrats, they've been like arguing about
politicians who do this.
Right.
I think
going on with Charlie Kirks and things like that.
No, to me, that's where they're missing the mark. And you said that so clearly earlier in the show, where you said they need to be talking to people. Like folks were saying, Amanda, you should have been arguing with intellectuals. No, we need to be talking with people who are not getting the critical thinking skills. They're not getting the facts. They're not getting the truth. And we see these folks going to town halls and they're having these performance, like live podcast tapings.
Oh my
when
God.
Ultimately there needs to be an intimacy that we are getting back to. And so in this format, I did get a chance to be one-on-one with people. And at the end of the show, there were people that came up and said, thank you so much. I learned a lot. There was a brother from from New Orleans, who I mentioned Katrina, and he actually left the table different than he arrived. And so I think, yes, it was useful, because ultimately a debate is not about who you're debating. It's who's watching you debate. And the goal is not to change the other person's mind, but to defend your stance in such a way that the people watching say, yeah, I got to go with that side.
Amanda Seales, thank you.
And I guarantee you, there's not one person that was on that conservative side that decided to say, you know what, Amanda Seales is right. I'm going to be on that side. You a motherfucking lie. You a clown, Amanda Seales. I'm sorry, bro. You are a fucking clown. We seen two of those cats that they just showed, the bald head cat and as well as the other cat. They both made videos. No, it was three guys. Because there was another conservative guy. He had the suit on and joint. He had the suit joint on. They all made videos doing reactions to the Jubilee debate, and all three of them stood on what they were talking about. And then they elaborated, because guess what? You were doing a lot of over talking, and you started to, try to puff your chest out as if you was the big dog, and you really ain't no big dog. And your sassiness, using your sassiness, and start to make personal attacks at people and shit like that. Kind of like you did with the guy with the suit. You start talking about his pocket and all that shit, the pen and shit that he had on his suit. You started making attacks. So the shit that you talking about, you a fucking clown, bro. I'm gonna call it. I don't care about what your weight class is. I don't care about none of that. You a fucking clown, bro. You are a clown. Ain't nobody's following you. Everybody looks at you. Everybody looks at you like a whole clown. And for the ones and the people that you claim that follow you, you live in the echo chamber. You don't live in a place, you don't live in a space where people are going to challenge you in your thoughts. You live in a place where people are going to praise you, even though you saying the dumbest shit. They're going to praise you. Oh, I love Amanda Seales. Fuck out of here, bro. Get off my screen, bro. Get off my screen, dog. Get off my screen. That's what I call clown motherfucking behavior. You understand me? Let me say it again. That is clown motherfucking behavior. and she is the biggest clown. 1000%. No lies told here. No lies told here, bro. But hey, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit that bell notification. This shit's crazy, bro.
Dive into the Courtnee Edgar Show Super Chats.
Yo, shout out to Zyrax for the 3 ball. Shout out to you for the 3 ball. I appreciate you. Understand, you know, it is definitely appreciated and it's not expected. So thank you. Yeah, for real though. For real. I agree. I ain't a fan of her either, bro. I'm not a fan of her. She is complete garbage. I'm sorry. Yep, as a black man, I said it. That don't mean just because she black, don't mean I gotta sit up and, oh man, you down and all black people. Man, it's some black people that be on some out of pocket shit. I gotta call a spade a spade. I'm sorry. There's just like there's some white people who do some out of pocket shit, and I'll call them trash too. There's some Mexican people who do trash shit, and I will call them trash too. So let's not play that race game shit. I'm calling the trash person a trash person. She just so happened to be black. It is what it be. It is what it be. But let's go ahead and move on to this next topic, man. Speaking of Jubilee, there's another Jubilee video that's kind of surfacing a little bit. And they're having this debate about why black women, or why some black women will prefer white men over black men. So I want to dive into it. So before I dive into it, because you know Jubilee be on some crazy shit sometimes with the content and the copyright issues. So I had to find some clips on TikTok. So we gonna kind of go through these clips a little bit piece by piece, and then I'll give my thoughts. All right. So it's gonna be a minute, but we gonna get there. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. Let's get it.
Me, I'm loud. I talk my shit. I speak my mind. And if you don't like that, then you're not for me.
That's right. I think that this specific prompt goes back to the original prompt. Men who prefer to date women outside of their race. I believe that it's not really a race thing, it's a class thing. And I honestly believe that if I'm a black woman and you already view me as a stereotypical black woman, loud, disrespectful, I don't respect black men. If you view me as that way, on top of me being successful, see, I don't have to be more successful than you. Sometimes men, specifically black men, believe that you don't need to have so much confidence in yourself. I feel like you are competing with me.
Yes.
My success does not revolve around your success. We should want to be successful together, which leads back to that specific detail about creating a healthy relationship, a healthy black successful relationship. And I believe that black men view women who are very confident. I'm very confident in myself. I don't disrespect you. I respect you so much, but I respect myself more. And I think that men have a hard time toting that line of keeping my masculinity and upraising your femininity.
I think there's definitely some validity in that. I think however people decide to arrange like their marriage and their relationships, I think it's totally up to them. Like whatever roles you choose, that's up to you. If that works, it's healthy, you should do that.
Okay, I want to address this real quick. So first and foremost, I need women to stop thinking that men are in competition with women. I need y'all to stop thinking that. The majority of men who are about something, let me set the precedent by saying who are about something, who's not worried about what a woman got going on, who's not worried about the type of money she makes, who got his own motion going on. And your own motion don't mean you got to be making 6 figures. You got to be making $500,000 or you're approaching $1 million. I'm talking about your average everyday guy, the guy who makes anywhere between $45,000 to $80,000. Them niggas ain't stunning you, dog. Them niggas are not in competition with you. They're not. But what happens is, and I would tell you, because I'm gonna skip that part. I'll get to that part later. But the issue is, again, and we always talk about this, we always bring this shit up. Now, are there some men who lack that masculinity like most men should have? Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But most men, I would say, do not care about the shit that you got going on. What they do care about is the fact that you try to emasculate him. Don't give me this. Don't gaslight me and talk about, well, if you were if you were a real man, then I wouldn't have that. Whatever I say shouldn't affect you. That ain't the point. It's the fact that you even tried or attempted to. That lets me know you don't have the respect for me at all. And you literally tried to emasculate me. See, you need to figure out you need to understand that you need to be feminine, regardless if you're around a feminine man or you're around a masculine man. You need to always be and remain in your feminine. Always. You can still get your point across. You can still get things done. You can still be respected if you operate in your feminine. And that's the issue. You operate in your masculine behavior. Then when men tell you, like, I don't like you, fine, shorty, but I don't like your attitude. I don't like your behavior. Well, you ain't man enough to handle me. I think you intimidated me. Nobody's intimidated about you. Nobody's intimidated of you. Who the fuck are you? Cool, you make money. Good for you. You are an adult. That's exactly what the fuck you should do. If you decided to move out of mommy and daddy's house, for those who do have a mommy and daddy, you decided to move out of your parents' house because you wanted to be independent. That's what you had to do. You had to take care of your responsibilities as a woman. You had to go get a job. You had to go to, well, you didn't have to go to school, but you decided to go to school and get you a degree. I don't know why I'm doing floating quotations, but get you a degree. Now you think you're somebody. Cool. You know how many niggas out here got a degree and ain't even using a fucking degree? Your degree don't mean shit to me. Cool, you make $70,000 a year. Cool, you can pay your bills. Cool, that's a wonderful thing. I'm glad you can take care of your responsibilities as a woman, as an adult. But that don't give you no move. That don't give you no motion to try to operate as if you and I are equal, because we are not. I don't give a fuck if you do make more money than me. You and I are not equal, because at the end of the day, that $70,000 ain't gonna stop that man coming through the fucking door and knocking your head loose without me being there. Ain't nothing gonna stop him coming through that motherfucking door and knocking your head off. That $70,000 ain't gonna save you. So that the fact that you make a little bit of money, that's cool, shorty, do your thing. But y'all have an issue when you make your own. I make my own money. I don't need no man. I just want a man. Boy, if you don't get out that's fine. Go ahead. You don't need him, you just want him. Cool. Stay over there by yourself. Stay over there by yourself. Then when the time comes, when that type of man that you want, he don't want your ass, because guess what? You ain't living up to the standard that he wants you to live up to. Then you gonna come back screaming and hollering, talking about, well, I deserve this, that, and the third. No, the fuck you don't. You lying to me. But let's move on to the next video. Let's move on to the next video.
My mom's doing.
Right. But I also want to know, why does the Black community not hold marriage to like a high standard?
We did when we had the most racism, and when times were the worst for us back in the civil rights era, we were getting married at a much higher rate and staying together than we are now. And so that's why I was asking, like, how did it happen that from 50s and 60s, we ended up here to where things are regressing when things should be theoretically getting better because there's more access now?
I think back in those times, it was a necessity. As a woman, being married was almost close to a necessity because of all the things you couldn't do as a woman. I think that's why we have degressed in a sense. And I think that it should be held valuable, but it will never be the necessity that it once was.
Media has sold y'all a lie. Media has sold y'all a lie. That's exactly what they told you. You can be independent. They told you can go out here and do what you want to do. They told you can go out here and be a boss babe. They told you can go out here and be a thought pocket. They told you don't need to be married. You need to be respected. Women empowerment. I can do everything a man can do. And you think that I'm a leader. I'm fierce. I'm a woman. Hear me roar. That's exactly the shit that they sold y'all, and y'all ate that shit up. And now look at y'all now. Y'all can't even get the right fucking date. Y'all don't even look at marriage the same no more. And that's why a lot of men are digressing themselves from marrying y'all. That's why a lot of men are digressing themselves from marrying y'all. That's why they're afraid to get married. It's a fact. It's a fact.
No man is intimidated by any woman because of her credentials. That's not.
See, he just said it.
The case. It's usually the character and traits that come with that. They usually have extremely high egos, and you can't tell them anything. And they usually come off extremely masculine. Like what you said. You said you can be masculine, and it might be too much for men. It's an attraction thing. Men are not attracted to masculine traits in women. That's what it is.
I don't think that's necessarily true because someone who, for example, I've known men who were intimidated and jealous because I had a college degree and they did not. It's not just the trait that came with that. It was, I have a diploma. They did not. It's not.
What man? Let's be. Listen, are we gonna have real conversations here today? No fluff, real conversations, right? Real solutions, right? Okay, so what man on this earth, real talk, your average man, because I always say nothing is absolute. What man, your average man, y'all gonna sit here and tell me that most men or men in general care about if a woman has a degree or not? You telling me that you got men that care about the fact that you got a degree and they didn't, and they got jealous of you? Let's be real, sweetheart. What man is that? If it is a man, I guarantee you he's the bottom of the barrel type of guy. He's the type of dude who gonna sleep on your couch. He's the type of dude, he's the Jody. He is the Jody. He is the one that's gonna sleep on your couch. He's gonna be the one that's gonna drop you off at work, ride your car around the street, gonna try to probably sell a couple of dime bags, get a couple of bucks. He ain't got no job, ain't got no diploma, probably been in jail at least once or twice. He really ain't got shit going for himself. That's probably the one that you're talking about. That's probably the one that you attracted. Your average man out here don't care about if you got a degree or not, dog. Niggas ain't out here, bro. If y'all actually listen to men and what they're saying, you don't hear no men out here talking about, yeah, man, you know what? I just want my shorty to have a degree, you know what I'm saying, to have some sort of schooling, you know what I'm saying? If she got a degree, you know what I'm saying, that puts her at a higher level for me. You don't hear men saying no stupid shit like that. But what you do hear is, I want my woman fit, feminine, and submissive. You hear that? I hear a lot of men saying that, even if the niggas don't deserve to have a fit, feminine, and submissive woman. You hear them saying that. I hear a lot of them saying that shit. But I've never heard a nigga say, yeah, bro, I need a chick that got her degree, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, schooling is a major focus for her. You know, they said, no, I want a woman that's gonna love, admire, and respect me. Who's gonna be loyal. That's what they say. Who the fuck type of nigga she dealing with?
It's not just my quote unquote masculine traits that was a turnoff.
I would say that might be unique to him, but generally, it's the traits that come with it. It's not the degree, it's the traits. This idea of dating down and dating on your level stems from women. When men have money, they don't view it as dating down when they're with their women. You guys say that, not men. If a man has money and he's taking care of a woman, there's no point that he thinks he's dating down. He's just taking care of his woman.
I think it's dangerous for a woman to date down because we see it all the time. Men.
You guys all said that you would. You guys all said that you would date someone that made less than you, and then you said that you did.
I didn't respond because
we
I'm
agreed
not
that they're a woman. I never.
I thought they said. Then they all switched. I thought they y'all said. No man is intimidated by any woman because of her credentials. That's not the case. It's usually the character and traits that come with that. They usually have extremely high egos, and you can't tell them anything. and they usually come off extremely masculine. Like what you said. You said,
All right, let me go to this. Let me go to the next video, because yes, that is true. A lot of women see that, and that's another thing. A lot of women, y'all gotta listen to. I get it, bro. I get it. Women, y'all are emotional, so you try to use that. Listen, man, you gotta learn to listen to. You gotta be an actual attentive listener. Yeah, cool. You got a job, you got money, but it's not the fact that you make money that makes you masculine. It's not. It's really not. Again, that's why I say niggas don't really care about the type of money you make. It's the behavior that comes behind it. It's your character. All that shit that comes behind it. That's what they care about. When they go and say, oh shit, well, you make, let's just say you're making $90,000 a year, your man making 60. Well, shit, I make $90,000 a year. Who the fuck are you to tell me what I can and can't do? That's the shit that they talk about. It's the masculine behavior. Well, we just as equal. I make $90,000 a year. He only makes 60. What makes him think he can tell me what I can do? He can't tell me what I can do. I make more money than him. So you can't whoop my ass though. You can't whoop my ass though. You can't whoop my ass. Your $90,000 ain't gonna be able to take care of shit else in this house. Meaning, if some shit were to go left in the house, then what? What you gonna do, Miss Masculine? Nothing. Nothing at all. So no, it ain't the fact that you make money, and it ain't the fact that sometimes, yeah, some women make more money than the man. It's kind of like the movie. It's kind of like that movie Acrimony, right? Let's keep it a buck. Now, would I have went about it like old buddy did? Probably not. I would have gotten a job, you know what I'm saying, worked the job, and then I would have did what he was doing, you know, I would have worked on that on the side, you know what I'm saying, just to keep some dope coming in. I understand that part. But it's the fact that this man was grinding. He was dead laser focused on what he wanted. He was dead laser focused. But you had this one woman, yeah, she cool at first. Everything was cool. Everything was lovely. But she started to get tired of him because she was making the bread. She was bringing home the bacon. He wasn't bringing in no money. I understand that, right? I understand that. But then you got this other woman who started to speak life into him, telling him that she believed in him, telling him, look, you can do this. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Speaking life into this man. Picked himself up, got this big ass deal. And then guess what? When he got this big ass deal, he took the paycheck because, mind you, she divorced the nigga. She divorced him. She divorced the man before he got the deal, because she had her sisters and her sister's husband all in her ear telling her, you need to let this nigga go. You need to let him go. He ain't bringing no money, and I'm sick of looking at him like this. He can't keep a job. He may look at you. He got you in here smoking cigarettes, looking the way that you are. All of this extra shit. We need to sell the house. All this extra shit. They just in her ear. And she eating that shit up. She listening to it. She listening to it. She listening to it. And so with that, she listened to it. She ate it up. And then she got him divorced. And then just soon as that shit happened, he ended up closing the deal on the project he was working on. Got a huge ass paycheck. Then he went and gave her the money. Like, look, this is all the money that I owe you for the times that you had to look out for me. She was happy as fuck. But then when she found out that nigga moved the fuck on to the chick that was speaking life into him, all of a sudden she wanted to get pissed. She wanted to get angry, said, oh, that was supposed to be my life. No. Nah, you left. He didn't leave. You left. You decided to sign those papers and get a divorce. And then all of a sudden you want to get mad. Nope. Should have stayed just a little bit longer. Should have poured life into him. I get it. It's draining sometimes. You got to go through the fucking mud. I understand it. Like I said before, he should have gotten a job or whatever the case may be in order to help pay the bills and shit, to help her out. I get that. But again, that's what happens. You sit there, you emasculate the man, you talk down upon the man, you're not speaking life into him. So therefore, he ain't got no purpose. With you there, he can't get to where he's trying to go. But then as soon as he released you, guess what happened? Some other chick who sees the potential in him. I know I gotta use it to spark the debate. Then you got Mary, you got Sue Ann, who sees that black man and sees the potential in that black man, speaks life into that black man. Now he married that white woman, and now you mad. Now she living the life that you were supposed to live, but you couldn't endure long enough. You couldn't endure long enough. Now you're sitting here talking about how men ain't shit. How men will leave you for the white woman.
You can be masculine and it might be too much for men. It's an attraction thing. Men are not attracted to masculine traits in women. That's what it is.
I don't think that's necessarily true because someone who, for example,
I mean, we live in a superficial society. Women only want the men with money.
Yeah, as they should.
Thank you.
But
Let's just cut the BS. It's about money.
That should be the number one thing when you're dating. That should be the first thing that you. One of the things. It's not just materialism. It's that as a woman, we need to know.
It's not just about money, but I do agree it's not.
There's just a lot of
Money
BS.
should be the number one thing that one of the top things that a woman should look at when she's dating.
It is the main.
It is. It should be.
Are you saying one of or the most important?
The most important, yes.
I partially disagree because I think there are kind of like we mentioned earlier, there are preferences. If you find someone that is interested in a certain characteristic that you have, perfect, great for you. And so we have these assumptions that, oh, all women are superficial. That is not the case. Absolutely.
Majority.
Okay, well, that is.
I don't think
that's what the numbers. Maybe
I don't
what
care
you
about words. I care about actions. The actions say that women are superficial.
maybe what you encountered that may possibly be
I
the
think
case.
there will be a lot of men. that agree with
However, can you let me finish? Yes. Okay. Historically, if we look at the role of a man and we look at the role of a woman, that is what is proposed societally to us. And maybe it comes down to security. That is a very, very important thing within a relationship, within a community, within a society. Security is important. At the end of the day, you need money to put food on the table. Whether you're by yourself, whether you're in a relationship, whether you have kids, right? Is that a concern?
My thing is, if you're dating someone strictly for money, I don't want to hear you getting angry about him sleeping around or him doing whatever.
The men with no money do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a species topic we're talking about.
The men with no money have less options to do that.
And more time.
But do the men with no money really have the option to sleep around with a lot of women?
Yes.
Yes. We
They
see it all the
do.
time.
There's a lot of women who have less money than the no money. And if you are a man who has no money, but you're with a woman who has money, you have money. Because that's how women are.
That also goes back into
That's
validation.
a
If
lot.
you guys saying that's a bad man if he doesn't have X, Y, Z, then you also need to look at why does a man need to be emasculated for not being where he wants to be.
And if you're a wealthy man and you want other women, get into a polygamous relationship. You do not have to cheat.
But it's kind of like common sense in modern times that men at the top 10% that most women want are generally like that and have options. And they're not going to settle for just one woman.
So why portray as if you want one woman?
Who
I don't think they do.
portray? Who said
I
they
don't think
portray
they
as
do.
they want one
It's
woman?
not a secret.
Most men go to that level just so they can get the amount of women.
It's a complete double standard, but I think it is the reality that I think men
it's a reality.
Want the idea of this woman is only having sex with me because men.
Territorial.
Yeah,
Dominant.
exactly. Yeah, again, this is a double standard, not excusing this, but the amount of men who are obsessed with a woman being a virgin, but also wanting them to be this like sexual dominatrix as well. Complete idiocy. But yeah, I think unfortunately, men would rather.
Man, it's like what Kevin Samuel said. It's like what Kevin Samuel said. When you are a high value man, and you may have a woman. What they typically tell you is, look, don't bring back home no diseases, don't bring back home no kids, and don't use the resources on that other individual. That's what the Godfather said, right? But here's the bigger thing though. Back to what Shorty just said in regards to that's what the societal standards is, that a man should provide that security. A man should be able to provide and do all these things, make the money and all these different things. But yet, nowhere did she mention that how the woman should be submissive, how the woman should be feminine. But she could easily point out the fact that what the man should do, how he should provide for that woman. But yet, are you the woman that needs to? Are you the woman, the type of woman that has to be provided for? Did I say that right? Are you the type of woman that deserves to be provided for? There you go. Shit, I'm tripping. Are you that type of woman? That's the question you need to be asking, because it's easy for you to say, well, that's what the good book says. That's what society says. A man should be the protector. He should be the provider. Okay, that means you are the housemaker. You are the one. You are the feminine woman. You have to stand behind your man. You have to submit to your man. You have to obey your man because you want him to be a provider, right? You want him to be a protector, right? And if I'm going to be a protector of you, that means I got a responsibility over you, which means if I tell you to do something, that means fucking do it, because there's a level of respect. There's a level of dominion that I have over you. If I'm protecting and providing for you, there's a level of authority that I have over you. No matter if you like that shit or not, I have a level of authority over you if you want that. So you don't get to tell me what a man should do and how a man should do something without operating like a woman. But you don't want to hear that though.
Rather know that their women are only sleeping with them, but then they are happy to give it out wherever.
I disagree. I think men just obviously they want their women to only be sexual with them, not with other men. And I don't think that's stupid or idiotic in any way.
Well, I just think it's a double standard because
it is a double standard because men and women are different. I'm sorry, it is a double standard. There are things that women can do that men can't get away with, and there are things that women can do that men can do that women can't get away with. Hence, there are men who can go out here and bust something down and not think twice about it and go back home to the person that they love, versus the woman who have to put all of their emotions and everything into this other individual in order to open her legs up to this man, which then reverts back to cheating.
Ourselves to be able to put it out anywhere, then I think it would be fair.
There's a reason why. Depends the kind of guy you're talking about.
There's a reason why women can get pregnant by one man every 9 months, but a man can get multiple women pregnant.
Oh, of course, yeah. Evolution-wise, yeah, we want to throw it everywhere we can, but I think for modern relationships, that doesn't necessarily work.
I just wonder, do most women want to sleep with multiple people the way most men want to sleep with multiple people? I think do they want the same thing?
I would say yes. They do it.
I just think that a lot of guys intrinsically, when they have more options, they want to exercise them, versus I think a lot of women, a lot of the time, when they're committed to one person, would rather just be with that one person.
Yup, that's a fact. That is a fact. That's typically what happens. Again, we are wired different. We go deep and wide. And women, they look for the best suitor. They typically look for the best mate. Joe, what's good with it, big dog? What's good with it? They typically look for the best option, the best man that they can get. That's why it's not the same. That's why when they try to compare, well, if men can do it, women can do it. Nope, it don't work like that. We ain't the same. Just biologically alone, we're not the same. So you can't, the standards aren't the same for each other. No matter how you want to spin it, it ain't the same. We are wired different. We are wired way different. So we gotta stop trying to tit for tat this damn thing. No, men. No, there are certain things that men can do that women can. There are certain things that women can do that men can't. Simple as that. If you want a top tier man, if you're a woman and you want this high value man, this top tier man that a lot of y'all talk about, y'all want a man who makes a lot of money, because apparently a lot of y'all making a lot of fucking money, which I still don't see, which the average black woman make like $40,000 a year. But hey, that's a whole nother topic of discussion, right? That's a whole nother topic of discussion. Y'all saying that y'all want this top tier man, but then you think that you still got a say so for a man who built himself up to become the best version of himself. You think you got to say so on what he do? From that same man that you didn't want when he was younger, and he didn't have the dough and he didn't have the money, that you overlooked because he was working at Starbucks at the time as a barista. You didn't want him. He was trying to holler at you then. But you ain't want him because you thought because him working at him with the apron on, working in barista, making you a coffee, you thought he was beneath you. You thought you were better than him because you work at a corporate job making $40,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And then little did you know he was working on, he had a side hustle going on. He had a business going on that he was working on outside of his barista job. And he was building himself up. He was studying and building his skills up. Now this man making let's just say he making 500K a year. Then quadruple the shit that you made. Now you want him. Now your eyes are on him. Now you feasting your eyes on him. No. Stay your ass over there where you were. Back then them hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Them hoes all on me. Back then them hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Them hoes all on me. So nah, bro. I don't know. And this is the thing, bro. I think we can get to a solution if people start to listen. Mainly women. Y'all gotta listen, bro. Y'all don't listen. Y'all don't fucking listen. Men hear y'all. That's why niggas, that's why niggas start to divest themselves from y'all. They see and they hear y'all. They're divesting. What they're saying is that, nah, fuck that. You want to go out here and be a thigh pocket. You say you want this type of guy. Cool. Go get him. I'll go over here. I'll go do something else. I'll focus on. Now, these niggas ain't stunning y'all no more. All this rhetoric that y'all talking about, the way that y'all leaving marriages, the way that y'all talking, you can see it all on TikTok. You got a lot of women that come on here talking about, well, I was married to a man for 11 years. I left a good man. He was a great man and he did nothing wrong. He's a great father, but I just wasn't happy because I deserved better. What? You got what some people would consider the best of the best type of man, and you left him. You got some niggas who would take you back for cheating on them, and you still go and act a fucking fool. Doing everything he possibly can for you. But that's why we tell niggas to stop being simps. That's the reason we tell niggas to stop being simps. Stop sipping over that mediocre box, bro. Have more standards for yourself. Build yourself up. Let these motherfuckers know, like, hey, bro, like you playing with me right now. You do know there's some other chicks looking at me, right? You do understand that there's some ones that's waiting for their turn, right? But you about to fumble the bag because you think you got it. You think you don't need to compete no more. Nah, shorty, you still need to compete. It's just like when you get married, bro, that's when the shit start. You don't just stop thinking that ain't the end game. When you get married, that's when the shit starts. That's when the clock starts. Because you got to keep that shit. You got to keep that shit going. You know those sparkly, those butterflies that you get when you first meet a person, you like them and everything is cool. You know everything is lovey-dovey and type shit. But over time, that shit ain't as lovey-dovey anymore because guess what? A lot of y'all get comfortable once you get the ring on your finger. Everything get comfortable. You let your body go. You stop going to the gym. You stop focusing on the things that you used to focus on when you were married. All of that shit. You just let all that shit go. And I get it. Things happen. Life happens. I understand that. But again, marriage is the beginning of the relationship. And you need to continue to keep getting better. You need to continue to keep leveling up. And you need to continue to keep growing and being the wife that you need to be for that man. Instead of trying to compete with him, why don't you speak life into him to help build him up? Because guess what? You are the beneficiary of his success. So everything that you speaking into him and he's going out there and mastering and going outside to compete against other men, and he's out there winning and grinding that shit out while you taking care of home and doing what you're supposed to do as a feminine woman, he brings all that bacon back to you. And you get to enjoy the fruits of his fucking labor. But y'all don't want that. I want to be next to a man. I want to be equal to a man. I feel like if I'm not equal to you, then I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. Y'all date based off of fear. of what can happen. You based off of, oh, he might cheat on me, he might leave me. Nah, instead of focusing on what this nigga gonna do and what bitch he gonna fuck, how about you focus on being the best version of your fucking self, being the best wife that you can fucking be, because I don't say partner, being the best wife that you can fucking be for him. You ain't gonna have time to worry about who the fuck he out there fucking, because you got other things to worry about. But you don't want to have that conversation though. You don't want to have that conversation. You want to combat it. You want to combat the situation because 9 times out of 10, most men who understand that they got a woman that's right there by them, that's gonna stick by their side no matter what, 9 times out of 10, that nigga ain't gonna step out on you. Unless you just really not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Especially if he's a higher level man. But again, you shouldn't be worried about what he got going on. But y'all want to have that conversation though. You don't want to have that real conversation though. You don't want to have that conversation. That's a fact. You don't want to have it. So we ain't gonna have it. We ain't gonna have a conversation, man. Listen, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure y'all hit that bell notification, dog. Listen, I want to go to this next topic. Like I told y'all, man, tonight ain't gonna be that long, but we got to talk about this topic for tonight. I always mention them. Shout out to Fatty and them that, you know, and what they've been doing. But Tommy Sotomayor, bro. Sotomayor. I hope I said his name right. He went off on Fatty. Fatty tried to save her, tried to captain save a hoe. But we going to get into it, though. He tried to captain save a hoe, and it backfired on him. So let's go ahead and dive into it. And I'll try my best not to stop it as much, but if there's key points, I'm going to stop it. So just bear with me, all right? So let's go ahead and get into it, dog.
If I asked you how many business partners you had before me?
That's a difference.
No, I'm asking you, if we were going to business, would that be offensive if I asked you how many business partners? What's more important, your relationship that you would end up having with somebody or business?
You know, repeat your question again, so I know I'm not misunderstanding you.
What's more important, the transactional relationship you may have with someone that's business, or the relationship you may possibly spend the rest of your life with that person? What's more important?
The second part, I think. I feel like the second part.
So then why, if you dealing with multiple men, you're not staying loyal to them, you're not listening to them, you're not cooperating with them, you having sex with people you don't even like, why would that be offensive to you if I asked you how many men you dealt with, if you got to me?
Did she say the word offensive?
I think it'd be weird. I think it'd be a little weird because you're worried about the wrong shit.
How can it be? I just asked you again. If the business part wasn't offensive, because I want to know if you've done business before, if you succeeded, if it was poor, if you stayed loyal to your business partner. Why is a man asking you how many body counts you had offensive if who you're having sleep with would be anybody? If it's somebody you love, if it's somebody you having a good time with, if you're having sex with multiple men and your body count is going up, but you're not giving them any commitment, why would that be offensive? I asked you how many men you slept with.
We're not comparing apples and oranges, though.
No,
those are two completely different. Those are two completely different.
No, those aren't two completely different things. It's an analogy used so that way you can better understand the question that I'm asking you. This is the thing that a lot of women do. Every time you try to bring up a parallel example so that way you can better understand what they're trying to tell you, and they bring up something general that everybody can typically understand, a lot of women do that. Because they look at the exact thing that you're talking about. Well, you're talking about business to relationships, not the same. No, you got to look at everything in between. What we're talking about. If you're talking about, if I'm having a business meeting with another individual, thinking about doing business with another person, I have to ask these type of questions because I don't want to do business with a snake. So I got to ask certain questions. I have to ask qualifying questions to better understand if this person is going to be the right type of business partner to do business with. So now you can use that same analogy in a relationship. So therefore, when I first meet you, I ask you qualifying questions. I ask you harder questions so that way I can better understand if you are going to be a great fit for me. So therefore, one of those questions may be, hey, how many bodies you got, bro? You be out here busting it down the way. Cool. You may think it's weird. It is what it is. But the question has to be asked. Now, some men, they can already see it on you that you ain't no virgin or nothing. But then there are times where you can say, all right, she probably done got bust down several times already. Because believe it or not, that shit oozes out of you. No matter what you say, it oozes out of you. The way that you dress, the way that you behave, the way that you operate, it oozes out of you. So niggas can see it, but some people, they just want to ask. They want to see if you're gonna be truthful about the situation. And if you as a woman, because here's a key factor. A woman who is proud of the fact that she don't have a lot of bodies, she don't care about answering that question. She's like, oh shit, I got one person. I only had sex with one person. She'll tell you with no hesitation, oh yeah, I only had sex with one person. One person, that's it. Mind you, you can see it too. You can tell, like, yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. But another chick, oh, why are you asking me that? That's weird. That's a weird question to ask somebody. Yup, she got more than 7 bodies. She got more than 7 bodies.
So Ayana,
those are two completely two completely different things.
What's the word?
We're talking about business versus somebody's body count.
Mm-hmm.
That's so different. Like, you can't even compare to both of those things.
It's not two different things.
It's a little
it's
weird.
Not
to try
because
to
because
compare.
if you're choosing somebody, if you're trying to choose a successful mate, it's the same thing as if you were choosing a successful business partner. Your past performance is an indicator of future performance.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to go into business and you want to have a successful business, you're going to pick a partner that's going to be a good partner that has a good past. The same thing with a relationship. In fact, if your goal is marriage has always been more about business than love. So it's absolutely the same thing. It's absolutely the same thing. Now, when we're talking about body count, I find it interesting that for a very long time, women would always say that men don't have standards. In fact, they would argue that men will just screw anything, you know? But then when it comes to them, it's like, oh, don't ask about my body count. Well, if you want men to not screw anything, then you want men to have standards. They should be absolutely concerned about your body count.
On the first date?
Yes.
Yes.
Because that is what I said on the first date.
Yes.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you a question.
A man's standards is linked to her body counts. Is that what you're saying?
It's a big part.
No, what I'm saying is a man's standards is based on what he's willing to accept and what he's not willing to accept. Now, if he starts pursuing a woman and he's looking at that woman like, okay, I could probably take you seriously, he wants to know that woman hasn't slept around with everybody.
Nah, I feel like ain't no real man. Ain't no real man. Let's just make that plain clear.
Oh
God. Look at God.
Back the goddamn shit. I'm tired of this motherfucking shit.
Here we go.
I think I'm talking about to a woman that he's pursuing on a first date or really any amount of time is going to ask her, what's your body count? Because he's not going to give a fuck. It don't have anything to do with how far a relationship can prosper based on someone's body count.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But I'm also not going to over articulate and over possess all this passion on this quote unquote one thing of a body count, because I don't think it's that deep.
Here's the reality with that. Here's the reality with that, with the whole real man conversation, right? If we look back in the past, we can argue that the men back in the past were way more manly and masculine than we are today. The men of the past, when they got into relationships with women or started courting women or pursuing women, there was an expectation that woman didn't have a body count. So they didn't even have to inquire about that, because it was assumed that you didn't have a body count. And in this day and age, you're talking about a man today ain't gonna ask a woman that. Yeah, a man today ain't gonna ask a woman that, because most of these niggas out here ain't hitting on 2 damn cents.
Fact.
They don't give a shit how many people you've screwed. In fact, they're hoping that you screwed a lot of people because that would give them a better shot to screw you on the first night. And right now, what's going on with women is women don't want men asking about body count because they know it's wrong and they don't want to be embarrassed to have to admit how many dudes they done laid up with before they got married.
Put the words out my mouth.
He cooking.
That's the reality.
But Edgar, let me say this: if a woman by the time she reached the age 30 and she only slept with 5 people, and a man that's potentially, pursuing asks her the number, I think she'll be proud to say, "Hey, I'm 30 or whatever. I only slept with 4 or 5 people." That would be a number that she would have no problem saying because it's a relatively no number. It's reasonable. It's respectable. From what I've seen in my personal life, numbers, and this has nothing to do with you and I, numbers that are kind of in that area where it's make the man look like, oh, nah, I ain't about to invest all this in you. I think that we don't want to have that conversation.
Damn, hold up. Shorty caked up over here with this makeup, boy. Damn, Shorty, relax.
But if a woman
I don't think it's no harm in asking.
I don't think she have a problem saying the number.
I agree with you. And if I sound really like I'm talking hella loud, it's because I got my cancellation headphones on.
No,
I
you're
like to
good.
hear myself when I talk.
You're good.
What they're trying to do is they're just trying to say this, right? You would ask a man for his job, and if that man said he had 10 jobs on the last 2 years, you would find it weird. You would be like, oh, I don't know about this.
No, I think let's scratch that. I'm saying let me also clarify because I'm also answering and my comment was based off this specific thing.
No, yeah, go ahead.
There's no harm in asking a person what's their body count. If someone wants to ask me what's my body count right now, depending on who it was, if I'm in a relationship with them, I would tell them. But on a first date, I think if that's what you asking me on the first date of us first talking, first meeting, first hanging out and getting to know one another, if you ask me what's my body count on the first date, I just feel like, yes, that is weird because what are you focused on?
Be taking you serious. Taking you serious.
So a person's gonna take me serious.
The time he's gonna. I can't continue to keep listening to somebody who keeps saying I feel like it's okay. That's your own personal feeling. But what we talking about is what is. Okay, why am I asking you that question? How about instead of getting offended because you already know you a thought pocket 101, instead of getting offended by it, why don't you answer the question? Because if you know that you're gonna get offended by it, if a man asks you that question, then deep down, internally, you already know that you shouldn't be doing it just by that alone. Because there are a lot of women who ask. There are a lot of women who be out here talking about, oh, I bet you get a lot of hoes. Say I'm lying. There are more women that be out this bitch talking about, oh, I bet you got a lot. I bet you got a lot of hoes. I bet you got a whole bunch of hoes lined up. Or here's another one. Who else you do this for? Who else you be doing this for? Who else you be talking to like that? Who else you took to this place? I'm pretty sure a lot of men have heard that question before. I'm pretty sure. So, but do men turn around and say, nah, man, that's some weird shit they're asking me. She up here asking me what type of hoes I be fucking with, what type of bitches I done took here already. And then that's weird. That shit cringe to me, bro. Like, nah, fuck all that. That shit weird to me. That kind of, and then you asking me that on the first time we meet, shorty. Like, for real though, bro? That's what we doing? Like, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, man.
That's you.
If Fatty just told you earlier, if you were listening, if he's on demon time and want to have sex, he don't care about who you have sex with. You have sex with, and are you listening? Like, we tell you our secrets, we tell you man code, bro. And you go, oh, it's weird if he asks about a body count. When it actually shows if a man comes out his mouth, hey man, how many people you dealt with? He actually has interest in you.
Yes. So what
how is it weird if the two of you first met and you're trying to get to know each other, and he's basically just asking you questions about, like, because for me, in my opinion, if you're not ashamed to screw a bunch of people outside of wedlock, you shouldn't be ashamed to tell people how many people you screwed out.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. This that splat.
outside of wedlock.
Because I feel like
she's
there's
talking
a
about the
different way
word.
you
I think
can
she's just saying
rephrase
the
that
word.
question. You can rephrase that question. Instead of if a person, if I'm on a
So
date
instead of saying,
and a guy
so
says
wait,
straight
so
up,
let me ask you this.
listen, hear me out. Listen, hear me out. If a guy straight up and says, "What's your body count?" Like you gonna have to take another step and be like, "What?"
Ayana.
If I'm
So instead, he's supposed to say how many.
and they say, how many relationships have you been in? How many relationships? You know, it's just a different way that you ask what you want to know.
Relationship,
One second. I just want to clarify this so we can have an honest conversation, right? And then Ali, Tommy, Angry Man can go. Women don't ask, "Hey, Tommy, how much money do you make?" They ask your profession. And if you say, "I'm an orthopedist," whatever the L is, you Google it. How much does a doctor that works on this with this amount of years gets? And you go ahead and you kind of see, oh, he gets between 150 to 200. I got it. Men are not going to ask your body count. Men are going to ask how many boyfriends, for how many years you've been single. Before the pandemic, you've been single since 2018. I know what you've been doing.
Okay.
Well, fatty.
So let me say this. Let me say this one last thing. Let me say this one last thing.
And them now. Anaya.
It's Anaya.
This is Ali fault. So respectfully, right? Women just don't like to get straight up question about body count. But men will find a way to circumvent the how many bodies you have and ask 7 qualifying questions to kind of see if you've been outside or not. And if they can get it, they get it. They don't, they don't.
So hold on, Anaya, slow down. Anaya, slow down. If I slept with all the women on this panel, would it increase my value or lower my value?
Lower.
Listen.
Increase. He's a man.
Can you ask
SJ not being she not being honest. SJ not being honest. Come on, SJ. You know that it increases his value because you know you don't want no square ass nigga. Let's be, bro. Can we stop lying, bro? Can we stop lying? Cool. Are there some women who who really don't want a man that never, that's never bust anything down? Yeah, but guess what? She probably Mormon. She probably heavy into the goddamn church. She's probably a super Catholic. She's probably a what's the other one? What's the other word? What's the other one? Yo, what's the motherfuckers who be out there with the little long ass sideburn braids? What the fuck do you call them? It was just in my head. Oh my god. You know the people who don't be using electricity and all that shit? What do you call them? Oh my god. What do you call them? Don't it start with an O? I keep wanting to say ottoman. It's not ottoman. Oh, what the fuck are they? Hey, somebody tell me what they are. I forgot what you call them.
Answer it, please. To society.
There you go. It don't start with an O. Amish. There you go. Amish people. There you go. Shit, I could not get it out. I could not figure it out for the life of me. Amish people. So if you ain't one of them, yeah, 9 times out of 10, most women don't care if most men got bodies, bro. 9 times out of 10, they want that. They want to know that you can get some women because most women want a man that other women want. Am I lying or what? Look at the Futures. Look at the Cam Newtons. Look at the Nick Cannons. Look at the well, I mean, you can't say him. Who else got a lot of fucking kids? Who else got a lot of fucking kids out here that's just outnumbering everybody? There's a lot of niggas out here who got a lot of fucking kids, bro. And a lot of women keep going after these niggas and having babies by these fools. So you can't. So the proof is in the pudding. And then even on the smaller scale, we all know some dude who be getting all the fucking hoes. We all know that. We all know. Some of us might be them type of guys. Just saying. Or once were those guys. So the shit that people are saying, oh well, the value goes down. No, it don't. No, it don't.
and on the panel, if I slept with all of you, would it increase my value or lower my value?
Who knows this information?
Women don't
Is this
want
just
no
public
men.
knowledge?
Okay.
You slept with everyone on this panel.
So
It would that be public
Anaya, I will
knowledge?
say this: if
How
I
would
slept
know
with
that?
if I slept with all of you, it would increase my value to men and women. If you slept with all the men, it would decrease your value to men and women. If you saw me walk outside this building with 20 women on my arms, you'd be like, damn, who was that? If a man saw you walking out, or women with 20 men on your arms, they go, ooh, that's a jump off. Our value is deemed different, and there's double
All right.
standards. I'm not expecting you to protect.
Yes, there is double
protect and
standards for
provide,
sure.
but your lower count would determine whether I want to protect and provide for you.
Let's get Angry Man and Tommy over here, and then I need to bring up Turreal, so he wants to say something. Go ahead, Angry Man, and then Tommy interrupted, please. Go ahead.
Yeah. What Ali is saying is 100% correct. A woman with 100 men is a zero, but a man with 100 women is a hero. At the end of the day, the thing that I can't understand is how can a person who has chosen to operate in a disrespectful way expect respect? Like if you're already disrespecting yourself, because the way it works is when men and women are born, right? Men are born at the bottom of the mountain. Our job is to climb up the mountain. We have to achieve shit. Women are born at the top of the mountain. Your job is to stay at the top of the mountain. Every time you sleep with someone who is not a husband and you just sleeping around, you come further down that mountain. And a lot of y'all are meeting dudes halfway down the damn mountain. And that's why you keep catching hell when it comes to relationships. Now, the thing that Ali said that I disagree with, it's not that they're choosing to be single. They don't know how to be in relationships. They don't know how to spot a good man from a bad man. The man that cares about how many people you slept with is the good dude. The dude that doesn't care is the bad dude. It's simple.
I just asked my wife, and she said most women.
Tommy, go ahead, and then we get Turreal and interrupted. Go ahead.
Me or the other one?
There's only one Tommy on the panel.
Oh, I did.
Tommy.
He was talking, and his name is Thomas.
What, Tommy?
Trying.
Hey, is your name Tom? Is your name Thomas too? That's crazy.
Yeah.
This nigga been on the panel this whole time. You know his name was Thomas?
Doing all right. Daddy. Look, I tell you what, and there's no offense to anybody, y'all know I just talk kind of plainly. A lot of times the biggest problem, especially in the black community, black women got too much voice, got too much mouth. And the fact that you let them speak, and we think that we're like they'll be saying things and won't even know what the word means, or say the word wrong and just be talking and seeking words and saying, well, it's the way that you said it. Well, you got to understand, a real man. So when a woman can tell you what a real man is, that is a problem. Because usually when she say what a real man is, it's always somebody that accepts her shit and won't question her shit. It's always a real man for that one. A real man will get with a woman who has kids. Haven't y'all heard that? How many of y'all black men heard that? A real man will be with a woman that's got kids. Who says that? A bitch with kids.
I said
that's all. And here's my bigger thing too. Before time to go off, I ain't listening to no woman who tell me what a real man's supposed to do. Anytime a chick say, "Hey," or what a real man do, I turn my ears off. I'm not listening to that shit. But a real man, what a real man would. You done? All right. Now, what we were saying again, you know, how the hell you gonna tell me what a real man is? How you gonna tell me what a real man is? Especially if you ain't never had a real man in your life. How you gonna tell me what a real man is? You don't even know the first step to being a man. You don't even know the first step to what being a man is. So how you gonna tell a man how to be a man? You can't even teach a kid how to be a man, but you gonna tell another grown man what a real man would do. Is a real man would take. Man, you better sit your ass down somewhere.
At the same
time, next? A real man should get with somebody got AIDS if you're real. It's really stupid. But you'll hear black women talk like this, and they'll be real confident being in public, being real ignorant. Why would you want to know how many people I've slept with? Well, I want to know if I'm throwing my hot dog down a hallway. Why wouldn't I want to know how many people done jumped on you and treated you like a human trampoline? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why do you care if you like me? I don't know you. You know why we on this first date, lady? Because you had a fat ass and titties, and I said, let me get your number. I didn't know a damn thing about you. Didn't know your last name. Probably didn't remember it unless I put it in my damn phone. And usually, nigga, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. When I put your name in my phone, it's Big Booty Betty I met at the motherfucking Publix. That's how I labeled your ass. So for you to sit there and tell that motherfucking lie that I'm supposed to be trying to get to know anything else, no, I need to know if I'm serious about fucking Big Booty Betty. How many other niggas done fucked Big Booty Betty? Because when I met this bitch at Publix, I know 39 niggas in aisle 7 was trying to get her number too. So I want to know how many of them niggas she let hit. So therefore, I could either be the nigga to hit or I could be the nigga to take you on a real date. Because I ain't taking your motherfucking ass to chops when every other nigga done chopped that pussy. So it's a good question for me to ask.
Hot dog out what?
Right, it's a hot dog down the hallway, just out there, just some women in the pussy. Can't do no damage. She don't even know when you started or when you finished. Anyway, you sitting up here saying these things, it makes no damn sense. You know who making these arguments? Hoes. Hoes is out here trying to make arguments and tell niggas to shift their thinking. You shouldn't care about this. Fuck if I don't. When I buy a car, I want the Carfax report. When I get a bitch, I want the Catfax report. Let me see the Catfax. I want to know who been in this motherfucker. Why? Because I'm about to go in it. And what they want men to do is not respect themselves and their bodies. That's why if a woman asks you to put a condom on, and you be like, I don't know about this, she gonna look at you like something's wrong. How you fellas will feel if a woman tell you, take that condom off on the first date?
They don't even ask for men to put it on anymore, do they?
Right. But you would think if you put it on and she said, take it off, you'd be like, whoa,
bitch.
You're gonna be like, how many niggas you told to
feel.
take that? You're gonna be like, how many niggas you told to take that condom off?
Right. It's just like me. Huh?
I think they don't understand that very few things are new under the sun. They want us to think that everything they do with us is the first time. It's only us. We're so special.
Look like she's taking a picture of the screen.
No, they treat black men like this. That's why being raised by so many black women and no black men in the household, that's why we are subjected to listen to someone like that young lady and think she's saying something intelligent. Niggas with a father know what she's saying is stupid immediately. Somebody tell me I'm lying. If you was raised around some men, you know what the fuck she said was ignorant. Hell, she know it was ignorant, but she know niggas like pussy, and she can talk you simp niggas in the fucking. That's all it is. You niggas like, I'm glad that Ali said it. Don't nobody give a shit about what none of these bitches been. We want to fuck them. That's it. I wouldn't ask you. I done fucked so many bitches, I don't even know what their first name is. I don't know your name, bitch, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But if it gets to the point where I want to have something serious, I'm going to ask questions. It was a shame, Ali, that she didn't understand. I used to love giving that analogy of business. How you going to tell me I should be more strict about where I put my business than where I put my penis? You a fucking idiot. No offense, young lady. I'm just saying a fucking idiot says that. Because if I put my dick in you and I get HIV, that's going to last with me forever. If I put my name on a signature for a business, bitch, I can separate that if it don't go well. As a matter of fact, black women are so fucking backwards. Think about how many black women y'all have heard say this word. They got a baby by a nigga and you ask, are y'all getting married? Nah, that's a big step. Hold up, bitch. You can get married in Vegas in a drive-thru and get divorced.
Bruh, this nigga here is crazy as hell. He said, hey, y'all about to get married, huh? Nah, that's a big step. Hold on, bitch.
I beg your pardon.
Boy, this nigga Tommy Sotomayor is fucking crazy, bro. He's a lunatic, dog. He's a lunatic, bro. Oh my God.
the next damn day. But if I get you pregnant, you stupid bitch, you got 18 years of this motherfucker, and then after that, you got to put him in the world, and he could turn into Jeffrey Dahmer. But it make more sense for you to think about marrying me than reproducing with me. Only black women say stupid shit like that, and only black men listen to stupid shit like that because your mama probably was a stupid bitch like that, and she told you that stupid shit, and you thought it was normal. And this is what we have to change. We have to change this thought of a lot of women. I'm not saying a lot of women shouldn't be heard. I'm just saying they shouldn't be heard. Meaning this, after a while, when you listen to somebody and they say it, and it's usually based on their feelings more than what they know and what they can prove, you shouldn't build anything with that person. You wouldn't build a house if the nigga that came to design your house said, I feel. You wouldn't build a car if the nigga said, I feel.
Facts.
Y'all wouldn't get on a plane when a nigga told you how he felt when he was building it.
I said that.
No, he better tell you what the fuck he know, because that flight gotta work. And when it comes to relationships, you can tell we don't take them seriously. Because if a woman asks you, you ever slept with a man? Imagine if you said, you shouldn't ask me that on the first date. What do you think that woman would say?
You did, and I
yes.
Hey, Tommy.
Or wish we said the words of, it shouldn't matter.
Right.
Oh, well, it shouldn't matter that me and my boys had an orgy together. We told the bitches to leave. We just started fucking each other when we was 19. But that was just because a nigga had some, a nigga had some El Jimador that night. It be fucking a nigga up. But it shouldn't matter. I'm 30 now. And I'm not gonna say those shit like that.
It's unfair deals.
Tommy, ain't
unfair deals all across the board.
There ain't no bankruptcy that can wipe out a STD.
Right. Yes, you can't file, what was it, chapter 7?
Chapter 7 to get rid of
clean my dick off. It's a new dick now. We can start over.
Shorty couldn't hack it. She done dipped out. She done straight dipped out.
Yeah, and a nigga filed chapter 13 dick. It doesn't happen. So when we are asked questions, if we won't even ask, if a bitch say, well, where do you work? And we won't tell her that, she'll write that down as a reason why I don't want to fuck with this nigga. There's a lot of reasons we get written off as men, but women don't want to play that same game. They don't like getting written off. They want to get the same damn thing as everybody else get. That's why old bitches now always talking shit about young bitches. I'm just as good as a young woman. No, you ain't, bitch. You ain't got no but a couple of eggs left. You 45-year-old hoe. You ain't even got enough to make 100.
Germs are running down.
When you was young, you old bitch, you was up there at the club and having niggas buy all kind of shit for you. Now ain't nobody buying nothing for you because you're smelling like motherfucking Ben Gay. So that's why. But I'm just as good as a young woman. No, you're not. And we need to stop that damn lie. Because old hoes hating on young hoes. Let the young hoe get her time in the sun. You don't see old niggas like me hating on young niggas. I know this nigga can fuck you for days. I fuck you for 5 good minutes, and my shit start crapping up. I ain't gonna try to take this nigga's pussy. I'm mad when he come around. This nigga fuck my bitch, I'm out of a job. Only good thing I know is at least when he doing it, I don't have to. Shit, I know he done.
Hey, Tommy, my wife heard in the background. She said you spitting that shit. You got her rolling like shit in the background.
Hey, Look, the other part that I don't understand, and Tommy, you can attest to this. Anybody that's in my age bracket can attest to this. Saying that women don't ask personal questions when you first meet them, that's cap. I've been back in the day, chicks will ask you, you could meet a chick at a bar or a club. She'd be like, what kind of car you drive? Quick, what kind of car you drive? Are you a baller? What kind of money you make? What kind of job you got? They'll ask you all kinds of invasive questions.
So, Angry Man, before you go, let me get my thoughts off because I gotta leave in a quick second.
Hey, give me a second. I want to skip up because I know Tommy and Fatty kind of got at it for a second here. So I wanna go back. I want to skip ahead past my boy right here. Let me see, where is that? Right here.
If we eating these bitches on the back and try to fuck them, we shouldn't be performative in front of these cameras too.
Hold up.
Bitches and hoes, I don't.
Was damn, that's crazy. And then she just keep talking. Damn, for real? And
agree with the stupid shit she say, angry man, like when she talking about her friends. How many of y'all have heard her tell the story about she mad at her friend and you realize, now, bitch, you was the problem here. But we be like, So, because I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm trying to fuck. Why am I trying to argue with you? Going on a date with a woman is like going on a job interview. And if the job is stupid enough to sit there and just talk the whole time, I'm just gonna shake my head.
Yeah.
I think even hoes deserve respect, especially if they actually treat you well. And the I don't know, Tommy, if you're referring to her about bitches and hoes. I think you weren't. But if people are not treating you as bitches and hoes, I don't think even if they're bitches and hoes, you should treat them like that. I think that's very fair assessment. I think even hoes, if they're cool, we should treat them as cool.
Time is legacy. I like that hat, brother. I like that hat, big dog.
Cool hoes. That's what it is.
I treat hoes like cool hoes.
Yeah,
but I just want that's why I kept saying I tried to lead off with. But here's the thing y'all need to do. But I'm saying, Patty, y'all all need to do this. Y'all need to stop allowing stupid motherfuckers because you're being sweet and nice.
No, Tommy, we're not going
to. No,
to
I'm not saying somebody, I'm saying period.
No, let me say this because she's back, right? Tommy, if we eating these bitches on the back and try to fuck them, we shouldn't be performative in front of these cameras too. And this is what if I'm going to say bitches and hoes, and I said, hey, baby, hey, oh, I really like you on the show and all that shit. I think we shouldn't be doing that shit. So,
well, I'm not doing it. So I don't know what the fuck you trying to get at, but I'll talk to you the same damn way.
What I'm saying, what I ask
is Fatty out here trying to Kate. Is Fatty trying to Kate? Is Fatty trying to Kate?
Hold on, no. We need to speak plain.
So okay, so let's speak plain.
Yes.
Were you talking to her specifically when you're saying bitches and hoes?
Why she come back? I thought she left. Why she come back? I thought she left. What the fuck is going on? Because Fatty was gone and Anaya was gone. All of a sudden, both now Fatty up here talking about bitches and hoes and treating them with respect. And Tommy Sotomayor saying bitches and hoes in front, talking about him being performative and then wanting to bust it down on the back end. What are we talking about right now?
No, I said bitches who do this.
No, because you.
Thank you.
No, because after.
And let's make sure we understand your audience. No, I don't know this motherfucker and wasn't trying to fuck him either. So don't say no shit to make it try to sound like I'm doing that.
And that's why you have to let me finish.
No, I don't like the way you started.
No, because you said
you're trying to protect somebody.
No, Tommy.
No, I don't like the way you started.
I'll let you go until you said like this woman that left. Right? You are right on your point. They're trying to lobotomize you. That's a reality. They don't want you to think. They are trying to ostracize you out of the tribe by saying a real man wouldn't care about the woman body count.
When I was very direct, I said what she said. When I was very direct, you can play it back.
Absolutely. And I'm being very direct too. I'm just saying.
No, you're not.
No, I am.
You said we shouldn't be doing one thing and something else. You need to be talking about who doing it, because I ain't.
No, Tommy, see if I agree with you agree with me.
My bitch making me dinner. She might be watching. I don't think I don't need.
No, like when you start. Respectful. If hoes are cool to you, you be back cool to hoes. Rather you.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. And this is again.
So what does that have to do about future shit? You said if they cool. At this point, I did the same thing. That's the why I'd rather have a conversation with men and women. I did the same thing with a nigga over on Sinetter. And he came back and said, you know what, you right. You corrected me when I was fucking wrong.
Absolutely. And
ain't no trying to have no fucking thing. If I come up here and say, you know what, and I say some dumb shit and angry man point out and then show me how it was dumb, how I'm gonna say, well, I don't like the way he said it.
And that's
why are we okay with people leading people down the wrong path?
And that's exactly what I said. If you are talking about the person in specific, I want you to be specific, and then
I have been. When have you ever seen me? I want any of y'all to say it. When have y'all ever seen me speak in code?
Never.
Hey, Tommy, this is
don't play with me, man.
He done took off the glasses. Oh, Fatty's serious now. He done took off the glasses.
No.
Go back to that. No, I said don't play with me then. Act like I did.
No, but I'm not playing with you. Like
you just did.
No. Me and Sir Jeps did the same thing when he came here a couple of weeks ago. I'm not talking about you, Tyranny, but bald-headed, blue.
So who would you be talking to that was saying something mean to them on the show, but you be trying to fuck them from in the back? Who would you be talking to then?
No.
You're not going to do that.
No, Tommy, it's not what he
just said it.
No, Tommy. So Tommy, it's for both of you. It's okay.
This is not the first time, Ali. This is not the first time. This is something that happens in general. And like I say,
I've never been to the military, so I'm not a general.
Because I talk with this woman on the back too. And this is what I'm talking about. If I'm going to do the bitches and hoes, is this specific to one person on the panel or is not?
I literally said these bitches, the words.
Okay, and you said no, and I let you go for like 5 minutes.
So this bitch that went in the back, she done told Fatty, I don't like the fact that he calling me bitches and hoes and bitches. So she decided to come back up on screen, and Fatty over here playing Captain fucking America for her. Well, I don't like the performative shit, you know, because you're calling these bitches and hoes. You calling the bitches and hoes. And so if you're gonna play bitches and hoes, you can't be trying to fuck in the back. Fuck is you talking about, Fatty? Man, just had a conversation, bro. Fuck what up. Here we go. Captain Portugal. Yep. Captain Portugal. Come on, Fatty. I get it, bro. You simping, bro. I feel you. You know, I know that you want to make sure you have respect for the platform and all of that good shit. I understand that shit right there. But you know who Tommy Sotomayor is. You knew what you was getting when you bring this nigga onto your panel. You knew that out the gate. What makes you think that your platform is gonna be any different, that he's gonna act any different than where the fuck he's gonna act anywhere the fuck else? This is the same shit that happens when you bring him on. It's the same shit when you bring Andrew onto your platform. When you bring Andrew Wilson to your platform, them niggas are even fucking kill. You gonna get what you expect out of them. They act the same way no matter what platform that they are on. They are gonna be who they are. And then for you to try to check it on the platform as if because you're doing what you're doing is the wrong thing. This is kind of sort of like pillow talking. Oh yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I know that type of shit that nigga do. That type of shit that nigga be doing, man. See, he'll call you bitches and hoes, but then he'll be trying to fuck you on the back end. You know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying? I got his number, so I'm gonna call him out on the panel. That's what you doing, nigga. You pillow, nigga, you over here throwing salt right now, big dog. You throwing salt. Again, respect for the platform. So, but I'm just calling you out on what you doing. That ain't something if you gonna have that conversation because you know Miss Scarf over here, Miss Anaya, she decided that she didn't like the way that Tommy was going off on her ass because she was saying some goofy shit. Now all of a sudden you want to go on the back end, you want to go snitch to Fatty, and you want Fatty to come out there and play, as my man Tech Coach Ralph said, Captain Portugal. With the cape and shit, you want to take your glasses off. Now you serious about the situation. Now you feeling some type of way. And now he giving you pushback on your platform. And now you doing exactly what a female would do. Now you want to start trying to call him out on the shit that he even admitted before that he just done it before, that he's talked to people on his platform and he busted down the back end. But that wasn't the time and the place for you to bring that up. So that's your bad, Fatty. That's your bad.
And then you said because this woman that left the panel, so I thought you were referring.
No,
to
I said I noticed that.
A general example.
Thank you. At that point, I was very specific. I said if you start to then question a lot of what these women will say, like the woman who left the panel, that is literally what I said, which was very specific then.
Absolutely, and I stand corrected. That's why I asked instead of actually making a claim.
Yeah, but I still want to know what it is to you because you be trying to fuck
No,
Tom, I appreciate that.
Hold on, Fatty.
No, wait a second. No, what exactly? What do you like? No, dummy. No.
Because we be calling them bitches on the show, and man, we trying to fuck them behind the show.
No. I was very specific in what I said. Don't come on panels calling bitches and hoes to specific women on the panels, and then you try to fuck him on the back. You said, I don't know this woman, and I was not referring to her. So I said, I apologize. I stand corrected. It was not about her. How do we keep able to have this conversation? So I apologize. Do we have to go other more and more and more?
No. We stop. You stop. You felt the need to stop the show to do it. You felt the need to stop the show to do it.
You said it.
You felt the need to stop the show to do it. You did.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, please, so we can move on. Let's move on. Hold on. Tommy. He's saying in general about men that will talk about women like this and say it. And Tommy, he's doing it so that when people watching, they don't mischaracterize you or him and equate it to both of y'all calling women her a bitch. That's all he's trying to clear up. So
no, I'm sorry, Ali. No, you trying to say Fatty, he already fucked up. He fucked up already by coming on talking because he was talking about Tommy Sotomayor. He wasn't talking about nobody on the panel. He specifically came back up just as Anaya came back up when Tommy was going off, and then he told Tommy, he was like, "No, don't be acting all performative. Don't be acting all performative, and then want to fuck bitches in the back." That's exactly what the fuck he did. We not finna play that game, bro. Nope, Ali. Nope, you can't save him. It's over with, bro. It's over with. He can't be saved.
Everybody,
all he had to do was ask me, "Did you call her a bitch?" Which I would have said no, and he not say all that other shit.
Yeah, but
you understand what I'm talking about? You didn't have to add all that other shit because it had nothing to do with it.
No,
because if someone's reading into that, they do think that's what I was doing. I'm not dumb. If someone hears that, they think that's what I was doing. And they think it was a shot at me. And even if they didn't, I did, because I'm the nigga you said it to.
Hey, Tommy, I have an editor. Hey, player one.
Thank you, Atticus. These motherfuckers acting like they stupid and don't understand what he said.
Tommy, I have an editor right now watching the show and taking clips off. I guarantee you, I asked the question. Hey, Tommy, what do you refer to her when you're saying bitches and hoes? I guarantee you. Like,
and I said no.
But again, Fatty, it don't matter if you ask. It's the point that you even had to ask the question in the first fucking place. That's the point. It's the fact you asked the question in the first fucking place. Matter of fact, let me give me a second. Let me go back. Let me see if I can. Let me see something. I'm gonna come back. Give me a second.
I hired people for a living for IBM, and one of the reasons why we ask throwing shit up against the wall, see what
shouldn't be doing that shit. So
problem here, but we were like,
shouldn't be doing that shit.
Problem here, but we were like,
No, let me see what we say.
So because I'm not trying to argue with you, I'm trying to fuck. Why am I trying to argue with you? Going on a date with a woman is like going on a job interview. And if the job is stupid enough to sit there and just talk the whole time, I'm just gonna shake my head.
Yeah.
I think even hosts deserve respect, especially if they actually treat you well. And the I don't know, Tommy, if you're referring to her about bitches and hoes. I think you weren't. But if people are not treating you as bitches and hoes, I don't think even if they're bitches and hoes, you should treat them like that. I think that's very fair assessment. I think even hoes, if they're cool, we should treat them as cool hoes. That's what it is.
I treat hoes like cool hoes.
Yeah,
but I just want that's why I kept saying I tried to lead off with. But here's the thing y'all need to do. But I'm saying, Fatty, y'all all need to do this. Y'all need to stop allowing stupid motherfuckers because you're being sweet and nice.
No, Tommy, we're not going.
No, I'm not saying somebody. I'm saying period.
No, let me say this because she's back, right? Tommy.
Y'all heard that. Let me see this because she's back, right? Y'all heard that part, right? You heard that. All right.
If we eating these bitches on the back and try to fuck them, we shouldn't be performative in front of these cameras too.
Fatty. Come on, brother. Come on, man. You just all right. Y'all see it. Let me go back. Let me go back to it. Hold on. Went a little too far.
Calling bitches and hoes to specific women on the panels, and then you try to fuck him on the back. You said, I don't know this woman, and I was not referring to her. So I said, I apologize. I stand corrected. It was not about her. Well, how do we keep having to have this
lying, Fatty.
So
You're
I
lying.
apologize. Do we have to go other more and more and more?
No. We stopped. You stopped. You felt the need to stop.
No.
You felt the need to stop the show to do it.
You said it.
You felt the need to stop the show to do it. You did.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, please, so we can move on. Let's move on. Hold on. Tommy. He's saying in general about men that will
Yes.
talk about
No.
women like this and say
No.
it. And Tommy, he's
No.
doing it so that when people watching, they don't
No.
mischaracterize you
No.
or him and
No.
equate it to both of y'all calling women her a bitch. That's all he's trying to clear up. So everybody.
All he had to do was ask me, "Did you call her a bitch?" Which I would have said no, and he not say all that other shit.
Yeah, but
you really know what I'm talking about. You didn't have to add all that other shit because it had nothing to do with it.
No,
because if someone's reading into that, they do think that's what I was doing. I'm not dumb. If someone hears that, they think that's what I was doing. And they think it was a shot at
for those people who kind of missed it. What Tommy Sotomayor is saying is this: when Fatty came up and asked, he's like, "Hey, that's what he's saying that he asked the question, but he didn't ask the question. He just it was like a rhetorical question, right?" And so Tommy Sotomayor just responded and said, "No, I wasn't talking about. I was talking about in general. I wasn't calling her a bitch, right?" But he set the precedent by saying, "Yeah, because she is back on the panel now." Which was referring to the girl Anaya with the scarf on. She came back onto the panel because she left earlier, right? And so that's when he was saying, "Oh, well, you can't be calling big people bitches and hoes. You saying these bitches and hoes, and then we'll try to fuck them in the back." That's what Tommy is talking about. Well, you didn't have to say all that extra shit. What the fuck are you talking about? All you had to say, "Look, man, you know what I'm saying? Don't be saying bitches and hoes and all that good shit right there." And he could have left it alone. But he talking about trying to fuck them in the back. Nigga, that's throwing salt. Nigga, you throwing salt. Nigga, well, why you throwing all that extra shit in there for? What you doing? That's what he's talking about. That's what he's pissed about. He ain't pissed off at the fact that he's saying that he called him a bitch or whatever the case may be. He talking about that other shit. Talking about, nigga, you trying to fuck him in the back and all that shit. Bro, come on, Fatty. Come on, bro.
At me. And even if they didn't, I did, because I'm the nigga you said it to.
Hey, Tommy, I have an editor. Hey, player one.
Thank you, Atticus. These motherfuckers acting like they stupid and don't understand what he said.
Tommy, I have an editor right now watching the show with taking clips off. I guarantee you, I asked the question. Hey, Tommy, what do you refer to her when you're saying bitches and hoes? I guarantee you.
Like, and I said no.
Well, so it's a question, right?
No, the other shit you said on top of it, sir.
What I said. That's literally what I said. They told me, hey, player one, go ahead and find the clip. I asked the question.
It was general the whole
Hey,
time.
Tommy, you supposed to do like my man on 40-Year-Old Virgin said, "Wait a minute, you use bitch in a derogatory way. I did."
like I'm just sitting up there saying, like it's just and then the
Fatty,
like the
Fatty,
whole part about
Fatty, you gaslighting, bro. You straight gaslighting.
Because we
right
don't
now.
want to be up here calling them bitches and then be trying to holler at them from behind the scene. That ain't the shot. That was the shot, sir.
No, hey, 1 second.
You could have simply asked me, did I call this woman out her name? And you can't even be man enough to stop and say, you're right. I didn't have to add this other shit.
No, it's fine. Hey, Tommy, do you do it? Do you call women bitches and hoes on panels and then you all?
I call women bitch. I use the word bitch and hoe liberally. That motherfucker is all through my Don't act like you don't know me, motherfucker. You done asked me to come on here plenty of time. You know cussing is my first language. Why you gonna act now?
And Tommy,
is this Ali? Is this new Ali? If you hear me say something you ain't heard me say before?
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
No, you don't need that. You need to answer my question then. Have you heard me cuss before?
I will answer the question. I will answer the question. I will answer the question. Hey, Tommy, if you do it, why are you offended about it?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I will ask you.
I just told you, pussy. You tried to intimate that I'm trying to fuck somebody. If you ask the question, did I call her a bitch? I would have said no.
No. Pussy is what you try to get every time you.
No, pussy is you, nigga. That's why I'm better on your own show than you on your own show, bitch. That's why you always asking me to come on, bitch.
Pussy is everything.
That's you, nigga. Pussy is half the pussy I get. That's right. Half the pussy I get. You just I can tell. That's what I was telling y'all. You could tell this nigga was a hoe. You could tell he was an old hoe. The way he came at me. Now it's been exposed. Now it's been exposed. I knew where you were going, and you just went there, bitch. So I just.
Tommy, if you get offended, Tommy,
you was going.
No. You know what you're going to do? You're going to scream at me until you get tired, and you're going to let me go.
You got it. It's your show. I don't own your show.
No.
You're not gonna sit here and fucking disrespect me because of whatever it is you fucking trying to do.
No.
But I now know how you feel about me, nigga. So you ain't gotta worry about me come back to y'all bitch ass show.
That's the most old nigga shit I've heard.
Be trying to do
that.
Are you done? It's a big understanding.
I want you to make sure if you're done.
Nigga, he said nigga from the soul. Nigga. nigga. Boy, nah, fatty. I'm sorry, bro. You wrong. You 100% in the wrong, homie. You 100% in the wrong, and you try to bring it back and say that you just asked the question. You asked the question, and then, first of all, you asked the question, then you kept talking. So you didn't technically ask the question, stop for him to answer, and then you kept going. Nah, you asked the question like, well, I don't think that you would necessarily do that. I don't think you were talking about her personally, and then you kept talking. And then you went on to say, I don't like the doing the whole performative shit, and then talking about him trying to fuck somebody on the back end. That's where you fucked up. Like he said, that's where the shot was. It wasn't the fact that you was alluding to the fact that he was calling her a bitch or not. It was the fact that you were alluding to that he was trying to fuck people on the back end. And then you double down on the shit on the end by saying, well, Tommy, if that's what you do, then why are you offended? Nigga, what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's whole behavior, bro. That's whole behavior. That's what a female would do. I gotta call it a spade a spade. That is exactly what a female would do. If you had an issue, if Anaya had an issue she couldn't stand on her own to, she had to go behind the scenes and snitch like a little girl, then she shouldn't be up on the panel having these type of conversations if she can't deal with the shit that people say. That's a fact. Don't bring her ass up on the panel no more if they don't know how to have a conversation. If they don't know how to take it, because different people come with different personalities. If she done her background, if she did her homework and understood who the fuck Tommy Sotomayor is, then she would have understood, like, all right, this nigga just be going the fuck off the rails. Call it for what it is. But to go and snitch and then come back and then gonna try to come back like everything was all legit, and then Fatty gonna try to protect. Nah, bro, we don't do that. Nope. You wrong, Fatty. Nope. I'm holding your feet to the fire. You are wrong. You are wrong for that. 1000%. Calling it a spade a spade. It is what it is. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure y'all hit that bell notification, dog. Listen, man, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for tapping in with your boy. Listen, if you want to support the channel, be sure to do so. Again, it's appreciated, not expected. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, man, I'll holler.